Welcome back to the Women Warrior podcast, where we don't just talk about rising, we live it. So today I am here with a special guest who not only is one of my friends, but she's also a heavy hitter woman when it comes to business, but she also embodies fearlessness and resiliency and reinvention. So Carla, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So Carla not only is somebody who I admire as a woman in business, but she's also a best-selling author of Layers of a Woman. So I wanted to jump into Layers of a Woman with you because, you know, your topic, I think, hit a chord for a lot of women. You literally walked away from something that was no longer serving you. And I wanted to talk about that. If you want to touch a little bit base of what chapter 1 was like, what was your story about?
Yeah, so I just feel that happiness is just the most important thing than anything in life. And anybody that knows me, like, they're like, you're always bubbly. Are you really always this happy? Is this real? I'm like, yes, this is really me. You know, it's not an act. This is who I am. And I was losing that. I think I worded it as the happy spirit inside me felt like it was being suffocated.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it was a marriage, and I'm sure he wasn't happy at times either. And I'm like, this is just not working.
Yeah.
I got to flip the script here and literally start from scratch and put my faith in God that I would go on the right path.
Yeah. And I'm not promoting leaving marriages, guys.
Right, exactly.
What I'm
If you're
promoting,
happy,
yes, if you're happy, stay. But if so many people, I feel like, are in relationships that do not serve them, but they stay because they're scared of the unknown. You took that leap of faith. So I really wanted to kind of touch base on that because, you know, it sounds something so minute, but you walked away from a marriage. You walked away from something that you were used to, someone that you were planning to be with forever, but you knew it wasn't serving you. So what did it feel like when you were about to make that leap? Like, was there a determining factor? What did it look like in your world that was like, yeah, it's time?
Just like a pit in my stomach. And like I said, just unhappiness. Here I am, and I think I was maybe in my late 30s then, and crawling back to my mom and dad's house. Like, definitely not what I was imagining. But thank God I have a wonderful family and great friends. And I had a great job in the city at that time. They were very supportive and understanding what I was going through. But yeah, like, I could feel the pit again now as we're talking about it. It's just like, I just have to do this. It was the right time. I kind of just packed up everything that was, that I could put in my car that was important, and just jetted. It was crazy.
So what fears did you have when it came to leaving? Like, every time you probably thought, because I feel like you go through levels of leaving, right? It's like, no, I really need to leave. And then It's like, no, this is serious. It's what was your fears?
Well, I was saying the other day, I read something that if you even start throwing the word divorce out, that means it's coming. Like, nobody says it unless there's something there. And that kind of stuck with me. I don't even know. Like, I guess my biggest fear was, so we had the house together, we combined our money together. I was basically broke by the end of the week because it was what went into the house, and I was working in the city. I had to get lunch. Like, I had nothing to show for the good job that I had in the city. But my biggest fear was, who's going to love me again? Like, is anybody ever going to love me again? I'm in my late 30s. At that age, the kid thing, I'm kind of reaching that, end of the line with that. So I guess that was and then just, I have to start over. I have no money saved. Like, when I say I was at the bottom, I mean, I have a family that would never leave me homeless or anything. Like, I know I wouldn't be alone, but I'm a person that I like to make things happen for myself. So I was like, no, I'm not asking anybody for anything. This was my decision. I'm going to roll with it, so.
And you did.
Yeah.
And I think it was the best thing that you ever did for yourself, because a lot of things has changed since then.
It's crazy.
So I kind of wanted to jump into, staying strong when it's hard, right? Because I feel like with anything, right? Like, think about me and you are in our working out era, right? Where we're trying to be regimented, and because we're athletes, me and Carla, this is why we get along. Yes. We're basketball lovers at heart. That's our first love.
Yes.
Was basketball. But, it's, when you're not motivated, you have habits. right? And even though that's to sports, I kind of always use sports for every aspect of my life, right? So like kind of what you said, like when, let's say, days where maybe things weren't as bad that you maybe still thought about staying, or when times where you weren't as strong, right? You'll have days like, F this, like I'm leaving, like I'm out of here. And then there's days like, oh my God, what am I going to do? My finances, like I have to start over, right? So when, you know, staying strong was hard, what helped you bounce back on the days when things felt really heavy?
Like after I left?
As you were leaving.
As I was leaving, you try and focus on the good times. You try and hope that, those good times are still kind of buried there. They'll come back out, and you just keep trying, and it just doesn't get there.
Yeah.
You know, and it just kind of just reached that point for me. It was the timing too. He had went away for a trip. Like the relationship we have, I couldn't have sat down with him and say like, look, I'm unhappy, you're unhappy. I think it wouldn't have gone that way. Yeah. I'm not saying he would have hurt me or anything, but
it just
we couldn't have that mature
conversation,
adult conversation.
Yeah. Well, some people can't have adult conversations.
Yes. That we know. Yeah. So it was just kind of, he had gone on a trip, and it was kind of this perfect time to just.
And you did it.
This is my shot. This is my chance to do this.
So did you ever think about going back?
No.
No. So that was it. Second. You were out, and that was it.
Yes.
So owning your power is something that I feel like you really do. You know, yes, Carla is that bubbly. She is that happy, and she is that great energy that we all love. If you know Carla, you love her. But what mindset shift had to happen for you to go all in with yourself?
So it was like complete world of the unknown. I had a great job in the city. I worked at a talent agency representing actors and models. Started from the bottom as a temp. I made my way all the way up to director of New York operations. Had a good job. Everything was great, but this shift kind of shifted everything. I'm like, I need a 180, just switch, turnaround. And this is kind of where real estate came in. I don't even remember the moment I thought about it, but I'm like, maybe real estate, you know, like maybe that would be something. So I end up getting my license, and then I'm like, oh, it's commission. Like, you don't get paid until something closes. You know, you rent something. I'm like, wow,
And that's scary.
Yes. Like, oh, my God, scary. Used to being I was paid every 2 weeks. So, like, at least I knew, okay, every 2 weeks I'm getting this check. So I throw myself into it because that's just who I am. The athletic side, that's just, like, how we're bred, basically. Yes. Then somebody introduced me to a dog walker. I love animals. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll walk dogs. So I'm learning and doing the real estate. I'm walking dogs. Then I had a client that was a handyman. I'm like, do you ever need an extra set of hands for anything? It'll teach me about houses. I'll make some money. So I went from that to 3 jobs. And then luckily real estate has really grown, and I kind of had to make the decision to just focus on that. But those other 2 jobs helped money coming in so that I could just focus on building the real estate business.
Yeah. And how crazy. So you literally went from a marriage that it wasn't for you. It just wasn't for you, right? And leaving a marriage, like we all said, it's hard. Because I think a lot of women that are even listening to this can relate. Like, you either know somebody that's not happy and they just stay in it, or you're like, why? Why is that person there, right? You never want to be that person, because time goes by fast. But you put all the chips down on yourself. You went all in, and then your life changed like 360.
Right. Like,
not 180.
I feel like I was rewarded for the change. You know, like.
And she did everything. She was walking dogs. Like, you literally
I was installing HVAC systems under, like, houses and in attics. It was craziness.
So, it's funny, right? Because if you can write a letter to your past self, what would you say in one sentence to Carla that was in that marriage, that was scared to walk out, even though she did? What would be one sentence that you can write to younger version Carla?
I am so proud of you.
Yeah. Oh. And I am, listen, to know Carla is to love her. And she's not your typical real estate agent, okay? What number in New Jersey, in RE/MAX, are you? Because you need to celebrate this.
I just ranked, so RE/MAX focuses on the top 100 agents in every month and every quarter out of like thousands. I don't know what the number is exactly, but I just ranked 47th. I've ranked as high as 16. So
Congratulations.
Just really like rewarding,
Yeah.
to that they recognize us like that. Not all companies do that.
Yeah, and hard work pays off. So let's say there's somebody listening to this and they're maybe not in a happy situation. What would you tell that person?
I think happiness is the most important thing than anything, lean on those people. Like I was a person that did not want help, didn't want to ask for help. I'm kind of like I made my bed, now I have to lie in it. Lean on your family. If you're religious, lean on your worship, your church, co-workers. They could be going through the same thing and maybe they don't say it. I do think it was a little bit easier for me because I didn't have children. So,
Yes.
That did change my situation a little bit. But, hey, we have our friend Maureen that's opening up sanctuaries, for safe places for people to go. There's always a way. Life is short.
Yes.
Be happy.
Yes. Do not hold yourself back, because it's funny, right? Because think about it. Me and Carla, we always talk about basketball because I feel like those were like our favorite time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have so many different favorite stages of my life, but I feel like basketball played such a pivotal part of the making of who I am in my character. So you went after everything always. And I feel like, again, I'm just being honest, right? Like I can never see you in an unhappy situation because you are so happy, right?
Yes.
But you never know what somebody's going through, and like be kind, like don't
Right.
be a shitty person to other people,
Right.
And that's why, like with Layers of a Woman, you shared this story. What made you share this story? Because remember, it was you could write you can share anything. It's not something. Your story isn't just for you. When you realize that your story also can help another person know that they're not alone, I feel like that's the power of our voice with Women Warriors, right? What made you write this chapter?
I think that's what it was. Like, I'm like, oh, I could talk about how every person I work with, they're like, oh, looks like you're happy in real estate. Maybe I'll get my license. Like, I hear that a lot, So it was like I could talk about getting into the business, but I think it's what you said that I just wanted to be, I guess, inspirational to somebody that's going through it. I want them to know they're not alone. I want them to know, there's an option and,
Yeah.
I don't know, life is just so fast. Like, I'm going to be 44 this month. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe
when
how
did this
fast.
happen? I know.
I said to my parents, do you believe you have like children that are in their 40s right now? Isn't this crazy? So I just want people to be happy and enjoy. There's so much bad in this world.
Yeah.
I just think being happy inside is just
It's everything.
non-negotiable.
Yeah, non-negotiable. So what is next for Carla?
Oh my gosh, I just don't. I'm achieving things in real estate that I never even dreamed of, never thought was possible. So I don't know. Like brokers will sit you down at the beginning of the year and say, "What's your goal?" The last couple of years, I'm like, I'm reaching goals that I didn't even think about. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep rolling. My purpose, I feel, is to help people. So I don't approach this job that, oh, they want to buy a $200,000 house. I'm not in, there's no cap.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I have no, boundaries of what I'll do. You need help, I'm helping you. It's that simple, and it just gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
That day to hand over keys to people, and it's the winning shot.
Yeah.
It's the winning shot in a basketball game every time. I don't think it'll ever change. Like, I think I'm going into year 8. Some people say crazy things. Oh, you should be doing 700 houses, $700,000 houses or above. Like, nothing under. They say crazy things to me. I just don't see myself ever changing. Like, if it's a $150,000 house and you want it, you're getting the same Carla for that, than
That's
a $2
right.
million house. It's just our athletic drive.
And I love that you're saying that, because I feel like that's one thing that it happens even in my field. Like, I'm in beauty, right? And I feel like when certain artists get to a certain level, they think like they're too good for like the lower things. Or obviously we know our worth, right? But I just feel like if you're in a position that you work to a certain point where you're able to give that A1 type of service, why wouldn't you want to help a person that really deserves it?
Right.
You know, why are you too good? If you are blessed, you should be a blessing. And I feel like that's what you are, because you are the type of person, like, if you want this type of house, Carla somehow will find the house. Like, you can want a half door. Carla will find the house with the half door, because that's what you want. And that's why I feel like I adore you so much, because you are no joke. You are a boss ass bitch, okay? Like, she is, and she's playing nice, but like, hell yeah, you own that. But you are blessed, and you are blessing other people with, you are a different type of realtor. I feel like in every field we have like our stereotypes, and you are completely opposite of any stereotype I've ever heard about real estate agents, right? It's not just about the money. Obviously you want to make money. We're in our fields to make money, but you do it because I know you genuinely like love to see that smile, or help those people that maybe didn't think they can get that house, or that's, you know, I've seen you do it. So it's so admirable to watch. But you are resiliency, you are strength, you are courage, and you are just a fearless woman. So what makes you a woman warrior?
Well, one of the things that I brought up in the chapter too is when I thought about real estate, everybody, their first thing was, you have the personality for it, no doubt. Two people that were very important in my life said, nah, I don't think you should do it. It's a very, catty, cutthroat, and I just see it just year after year. You could like smell the money hungriness off of some realtors. I have to deal with them all day long, and many of them I love, don't get me wrong, but you smell that like right away, and clients feel that too, And I said, well, and not knowing anything about the business at all, I'm like, well, I'm gonna show everybody that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna be real. They're gonna see the difference with me, and it just keeps happening. Like, I have opportunities just coming to me every day. Somebody called me yesterday. I haven't spoken to the client since 2023. We were going out, fell in love. We all fell in love, the whole family, and it kind of just. They're like, we're going to stay where we are. She's like, I have a great opportunity for you. And I went to see the house yesterday. Like, I just seem to leave a lasting impression because I think I am different. And it's just, I just don't know any other way to be. Like, it's just me.
I think you're just true to yourself. I found
when I'm supposed to do what I'm doing, Like, it just is that simple. I don't even like to call it a job.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a job. It's my life.
Yeah. But if you didn't take that leap of faith, this would not have been.
Exactly.
So
I could have never had this job.
Yeah.
In the previous life. No way.
I always say, if I'm going to put the chips down on anyone, it's always going to be myself, right? Because we know what we're capable of, and you're capable of anything, right? So, Carla, thank you so much.
Thank you for
joining. I just let everyone know, though, where they can find you, give your Instagram handles, because if you need a house, if you need any type of help, all the things, tell them.
Yes, if you want to know what's going on in the current market, please don't listen to the news, the articles. It's completely opposite of what's happening in real life. If you're a realtor and you have some questions, if you're thinking about I'm here to help. My Instagram is Count on Carla. My Facebook is Carla Colucci, and thank you for the support. Thank you for all the encouragement that I receive, and just want everybody to be as happy as I am.
And thank you. So, guys, stay tuned for my next episode. Make sure to like, follow, repost, comment. We want to hear all the things, how you enjoyed this session with Carla. So thank you for tuning in. And remember, when you sit with the Women Warriors, the conversation is always different.